The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and 81% of Americans and Chicagoans have said that they would have liked to have an adulting crash course at some point in high school about what life's going to be like, the surprising nature of certain things. And this leads to something that Case asked me yesterday. Kenzie, you had just walked out, and Case said to me, I want to ask you a question, and don't make fun of me. And
that's always a good start.
I know. I was like, where's...
Zero promises.
Well, think about all the questions I ask, and I had to preface this with, please don't make fun of me. Normally, I'm
You just
free
go
game.
for it. You just go for it.
I just dive right in.
What'd you do?
Well, when he prefaced it with that, that's how I knew, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, he usually just splurts it out. And just for their listeners that might just join us and not know, Case is 25 years old. That's a grown-ass man. No more messing around when you're a quarter century old.
That's right. That's what your father said after he threw away your participation trophy in basketball.
Right. That's exactly what he did.
He told him he was a grown-ass man when he was like 5.
Hey, stop your crying.
Get up and work.
Yeah. There's a coal mine down the street. Why aren't you working in it?
I love your dad. I love him.
Oh, pay some rent, man. So 81% of people would rather probably have that. Kenzie was telling me during the song that she had an online gym class in high school.
So did I.
Wait, what?
It screwed me over. I'm sorry. I almost didn't get to graduate, and I had great grades. I almost didn't get to graduate because of online gym. I thought this is the best idea I've ever had. I don't know about you, Case. Wow, was online gym super hard?
Was it because you had to take quizzes about like nutrition and stuff
We
like
had to
that?
write essays and papers. We had to write so many essays and so many papers. And I don't know if you had this, but you had to wear a heart monitor.
Oh, I did not have that.
And so you had to have your heartbeat had to be above a certain amount for a certain amount of time. And I swear to God, this is going to sound so bad, but I had a friend, and admittedly, she's a big girl, and she's like, I want nothing to do with gym class. So she signed up with me.
Yeah.
And when she found out about the heart monitor nonsense, she made me wear her heart bands. I had to wear 2.
Oh, that's great.
And then I was like, well, you better write some of these papers then, because I'm wearing your heart monitor, right? And so I did that. And then the bitch just copy and pasted her article, and I got in trouble for cheating.
How'd they catch the double heart monitor? Because it was exactly the
I
same?
go, well, check the heart rate. She's cheating, too. It's verbatim. It just pissed me off. And then another kid in our class got in trouble because they put it on a hamster, but they could tell that it went like way too high, that it wasn't a human. It was a mistake. I literally was like, I'm not going to get to graduate because of this.
They called 911. Her heart rate is 280.
Yeah,
Someone get over there.
4.5 hours.
She must be running on a wheel or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but...
Yeah, no, it was a bad call. Bad call.
Oh, no, I didn't have to wear a heart monitor. Everybody in my school took online gym because it meant they didn't have to swim. Because if you took gym in person, you had to swim.
And it's horrible in the middle of the day or like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And I have long hair. What am I supposed to do this?
Well, more importantly for the boys is a lot of them don't want to change in the locker room with other guys.
This is true. So I cannot swim. So I would change it with as much privacy as humanly possible because I didn't like that. But it wasn't the changing; it was the showering after. So
Sure.
I would hop in the pool, float for a little bit because I couldn't do any laps. I was in like the lowest grade of the swim group. And
Wait, floating got you probably passed in gym
floating
class?
would pass. You just couldn't drown. If you drowned, you failed.
Well,
that's the policy.
That's fair.
And then I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
you didn't do good at swimming. So
And then I just wouldn't shower, even though I had gym second period. So I'd have 5 more periods where I just smelled like
you
chlorine.
didn't shower at all?
No, because I didn't want to be naked next to people that I've
Couldn't
known
you
my
wear
entire
like a
life.
little swimsuit?
I mean, I wore a swimsuit, not like a little one.
You may not know this, Kenzie, but guys at a certain age, in that puberty time, some of them just don't want to get naked with other guys in the shower.
You
Can
might
I
not know
ask a
that.
question? Can I have a real question on this?
Yeah.
It's just, like,
Oh,
don't judge
geez.
me.
Well, first off, Case had asked a real question. I'm curious what your real question
no, you
is.
go first, Kenzie.
Is it because you're nervous that you'll get a boner and then everyone will make fun of you? Because you is it like the opposite? Like, you know when you overthink something, like, please don't let this happen, please don't let this happen. Like,
Yeah.
when someone's telling you something bad and you're
Yeah.
like, don't laugh because you're so uncomfortable. Are you so nervous about getting a boner even though you don't want to get one? Like, but then it happens because you keep thinking about it?
I can only speak for myself
Yes.
in the situation. I was just more concerned because I was a chubby kid, you know? I was a thick boy back
Were
in the
you?
day. Yeah,
Were
I
you
was.
chubbies?
Yeah, I was a little chubby.
Did you swim with a shirt on?
I did. Yeah. Until I got tall. So I was more concerned with the way the rolls looked as the shed on
Why
top.
do you care about impressing like other guys? It's not like girls were in the shower with you. I could see why that would stress you out.
It's because when you're 13 or 14, all your hormones are going, and you want to look like other guys. And I didn't look like the other guys. They were jacked. I don't know why. I don't know why.
You go to school with Jack Junior High School.
I don't know why these grade school kids were taking steroids in my grade school, but these kids.
I felt like you, Brian, because I developed early, if you will, and so everyone just like, they were like,
stared.
but they were like, okay, how do I word this without being really uncomfortable?
We got time. Think about it.
I'm not gonna think about this. So I feel like when you develop early, like in like 7th grade, instead of it being like hot, they just think you look big. If that makes sense, like you look like a big person.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I don't get to shop at Abercrombie because they're like junior sizes. I never, ever got to wear junior sizes. I went to women's sizes, even numbers, immediately.
That's a big miss on your youth.
Sucked. It really sucked. I'm like, I'm at Gap and everyone's at Abercrombie. It was a bummer. Okay. Not fun. So everyone, I felt like, thought that I was like a big person. Like they made fun of me.
Sure.
For being developed in areas.
Kids are mean.
Like I wanted to like tape things down.
Yeah.
Like, because I was being made fun of.
And I wanted to tape my gut down. Like boys are mean when you're like.
Tape something.
I know. Maybe other guys could think that way, but that wasn't my issue. I was just more ashamed of my body.
You fear yourself into a boner.
No, but now I'm like afraid of that now. Like, I'm nervous about this conversation.
I'm serious.
Are you afraid of getting one right now in the room?
I'm getting one right now.
Don't
You've
let
gotten
it.
one in here a million times.
Probably, but I was afraid because you got to remember, especially after swimming, you're talking about shrinkage. So I was afraid of looking small in the shower next to like the popular kids.
Do you guys compare when you get in there?
I'm sorry, I was reading a text here for a second. We're talking about both.
Swing them around? Like, why is everyone looking?
Yeah, well, it's uncontrollable too. Like for example, 312 texted in and said, "At that age, Kenzie, you're going to get a boner in the shower. You don't have a choice."
Yeah, that's true.
And that's my question.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Is it like, this is going to be so uncomfortable, but like I'm not in charge of my body. Like that's what I meant.
Yeah, I was just so more concerned about the.
I haven't had one.
Well,
I'm just curious.
I was more concerned because like boys are mean and they're going to make fun of your body. That's why I was just upset with that.
Yeah, nothing about it was comfortable. I hate my body now. Imagine what I was like as a teenager. I had even less confidence.
Huh.
So we got on that side conversation talking about a class, like 81% of Chicagoans would want some adulting class. They wish they had one in high school going forward as an adult to learn something about what it's really like. Maybe they could have got little online gym classes or real gym class. I don't know.
All on adulting classes, I guess.
Yeah. And this leads to what Case asked me yesterday after the show when Kenzie had walked away. I guess I'm telling you this now. So Case came to me. I had this real question. Will you promise not to make fun of me? And I said, no. I will not. Just go ahead.
We never make that promise here, ever.
Go and let it rip.
Because I'm not a liar.
Yeah. So he asked
I'm
me.
just mean.
Say what you want about Kenzie. She's not a liar.
I don't lie.
He asked me, is it possible to take $500 cash to the bank and put it in the account?
And before anybody...
Well, they shoot you.
Yes.
You show up with cash.
Before anybody wants to make fun of me for that, think about the last time you would have been in that situation where you had a large amount of cash that you had to deposit at a bank.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Where did you get a large amount of cash?
Good question.
Well, okay, sad story about why I had $500. My dog was attacked last week, and the owner of the dogs has agreed to pay our vet bills, but he is a dumb guy, so he's like, "Oh, I'll Zelle you the money." I said, "Great, here's my Zelle account," and then he didn't pay me for 3 days.
I think that's smart, not dumb. He's trying not to pay.
Yeah. So I
You
finally,
mean he's a con artist?
I called him Sunday morning, livid, like 10 out of 10 livid, and was like, "Where's my money?" He's like, "Well, my Zelle account's shut off," and I go, "Okay, so what are we gonna do?" And then he paid me cash, so I had $500 I had to deposit yesterday.
So he said, "Can I take cash to the bank?" And I said, there's actually a limit you got to be careful of. If you take a certain amount of cash to the bank, they have to report it. The bank does. And I thought it was $600. But
you report $600?
if you take cash in, or even a check, it's actually $10,000.
Yeah.
That's the limit.
You report it? You know the police are a little busy right now? Someone just brought money to the bank. Someone tried to pull money in their account.
Well, they're not calling the cops, but they're calling the IRS or whatever.
Uncle Sam?
Yeah, they're reporting it that it's taxable income, and I thought it was $600, and that was the limit. But it's $10,000.
You're not allowed, you can only bring it to the strip club. It's super unfortunate, and we're working on it.
My thought was, I was like, how do I get this in my DraftKings account? I can double this if I just make the right bet. I just need to deposit it somewhere.
Yeah.
If your poor dog's bills,
I know.
you're gonna make him an honest dog. Make him good on his debt.
See, what you should do is just keep the cash and spend it as like you would spend on a credit card or a debit card or whatever. Just use it in real time, if you will. Use money as what it's supposed to be used as.
Second question. Second question is, there's no way the bet bills were exactly $500. So did you round up?
It was $555.
So you rounded it down?
No. I just $500 was a baseline. I didn't want to tell Brian the exact amount of money I had.
Oh, so you got $555.
Yes.
So, but there's no way that was the exact amount. Did you round up or down?
No, it really was.
To the coin?
It was $555 on the dot.
I'm a rounder upper. I call it interest. If you owe me money and it's like 87 cents, I'm like, boop, it's $1.
So you did that successfully then?
Well, kind of.
Oh, boy.
I had an issue at the ATM. So I waited in line first. I was like, this is a human-to-human interaction. I want to have a moment with somebody where we work through this problem together.
Right.
There's a line at PNC.
Yep.
And the guy at the front of the line, they kept on asking him about different papers, and he had none of them. He's like,
boy.
I don't have anything that I need, but please help me. I waited in line for 10 minutes. I said, I'm finally going to bail. I go to the ATM that's in the store. I see, oh, you can do this. Let me hit the buttons that will take me through this process. This is awesome. And then I got to the screen where I thought I was ready to deposit the money, and I was jabbing the money with the machine. I was like looking at every slot and every hole in the ATM going,
Did you get deja vu?
Because
From when you lost your virginity. Sorry. That's all I imagine.
Putting a $100 bill
He's
is
just like
resembling
poking around. Does this go? Belly button?
yeah, well, let's see here. So I just couldn't figure out where to put the money. Luckily, and this is why God is real, a man walked to the second ATM and was putting cash in the ATM. He was depositing money as well.
Sure.
And so I did the Brian at Riot Fest when you were walking Kenzie to her car, and I went, pardon me?
Yep.
I have a question for you, good sir. He did not want to.
Was he an 80-year-old man or no?
He was.
Yeah.
I swear to God, he was so old. He was so old, I thought he was going to die at the ATM.
So mean.
No, he was a nice guy. But he was very uncomfortable by somebody talking to him at an ATM. I didn't know if he thought,
not great etiquette.
I know.
Urinal and ATM.
The two places, yes, exactly.
Well,
You
it's
don't
also
talk to your neighbors
Chicago
there.
where, you go to you got to look over your back.
80. He's like, I'm going to die now. That sucks.
You definitely need a spotter if you're going to the ATM these days. You need someone watching your back when you're going in there.
You're right. So I was his spotter, he was mine. We were guardian angels with each other. I said, sir, I can't figure out where to put this money.
Yeah.
And he looked at my screen, and then he looked at me, and he said, well, you need to hit OK, and then everything will happen. I was one screen away from it. And then once I hit OK, it took my money, no problem. I deposited the money, went to Subway, the restaurant, had myself a dandy afternoon.
Oh, wow. Perfect. That was supposed to go to a vet bill, by the way, that money, not to go to Subway for your fat ass.
So bad. Could you imagine Case taking out the entire $555 at Subway and then getting like jumped on the way out?
It's amazing. You put the money in, and like 2 minutes later, half of it was gone. Give me 70 cookies because I got $500 in the
I
bank.
have money to blow, baby.
Wow. It's a true adulting question. And we're asking you that same question at 312-591-8300. What was that question when you became an adult, like Case here, not knowing you could put the cash in the bank account? What was that for you at 312-591-8300? Tim checked in. I had $15,000 from a gambling trip. I deposited in increments because I didn't want to be taxed on the money.
Smart man.
Like once they just put it in here and here. There must be some kind of loophole on that they can catch you with that too. I mean, unless you do it months apart, I don't know.
I don't know. You should always be trying to get ahead on your taxes and winning against the system. I root for Tim there.
Well, check in here at 312-591-8300.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're talking about adulting. 81% of Chicagoans wish they had an adulting class in high school and dropping one of the other type of classes that probably didn't pay off for you.
No kidding.
And we're talking to you guys about that thing that when you became an adult, you couldn't figure out, like Case, the producer at 25 years old, didn't know you could take $500 cash to the bank and put it in. Megan checked in. I was pumping gas for the first time and couldn't figure it out. The guy I asked to help me was super annoyed and told me that I shouldn't be driving. That's a real feminist right there. Why don't you get in the kitchen and let the man fill up the car, girl?
Oh, no. I think he just meant if you don't know how to put gas in the car, you shouldn't have it.
Something tells me
Yeah,
a little
I'm
bit
with
further.
Brian.
I don't know.
I feel like we should live in a state where it's illegal to pump your own gas, though. Because I think Oregon still has that, where you're not allowed to, or maybe it's New Jersey where
No,
you can't
wait,
pump your own
no.
gas.
It's another place you have to tip.
No, it's well, first off, I've been in New Jersey.
Yes.
It sucks because you got to wait in line because you just have to go in order of, you're at mercy of the guys pumping the gas that work there. You don't have to tip them. And trust me, there's no tipflation with that. They don't expect a tip in New
I don't
Jersey.
buy it. That's actually something that you think you would tip for. They're doing it for you.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been there and I don't tip. And they don't. There's no tipflation on the little counter thing there. Like, do you want to tip the guy for putting the gas in your car?
No, they probably just expect it. They don't need to ask.
Yeah. Well, I'm not tipping when I'm there because my wife's family, some of them are in Jersey. I ain't doing that.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see here. People checking in again about the adulting. Sarah checked in. My son is the same age as Case, 25 years old. We always had an ice maker in our fridge growing up. It broke, and we had to use ice cube trays for a while. The first time he emptied one, he asked, "So, do I just fill this up in the sink?"
Oh, my God.
I have never related to anything more. So here's the thing. I don't like ice. I don't use ice for anything. I don't put it
How
in
are you
drinks.
anti-ice?
I just don't. I don't like things that are that cold. So I don't like ice.
You don't like cold. You don't like spicy. You don't like wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, you don't like hot or cold.
But I had a friend come over once. We were hanging out, and he wanted water with ice. And it was so embarrassing having to ask my other adult, grown-ass male friend, "Hey, man, I don't have an ice maker. I don't know where to get the ice from." And then he explained that I had an ice tray, and if I just filled it up with water and then put it in the freezer, I would get ice. It was a whole thing. I didn't know what was going on.
Jessica checked in, 224, about adulting, Jess from Naperville. I didn't know that most ovens come standard with a self-cleaning option and that the oven doors comes off so it's easier to clean. I've never taken the oven door off. The whole door comes off? Easy?
I don't take the whole oven door off. I take like all the parts out of the inside of the oven, like the trays and the side trays and everything.
Yeah.
I don't really need to take the oven door off.
Also, we did that self-cleaning option once in our apartment. I never did that my whole life.
Yeah.
And it gets like to 700 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, and it locks, so you can't open it.
I know. And then our smoke alarm kept going off because there was a little pizza in there. A pizza chunk had dropped in there, and it was going off for hours. We couldn't turn the oven off, and we couldn't stop the smoke alarm.
You know, it's good to make sure you don't have actual leftovers in your oven before you do it.
You know, who doesn't have a couple pepperonis on the bottom of the
Preach,
oven?
Brian.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
We're talking about adulting, and the first time, you learn something and you go like, whoa, wait, that's what it's like? 81% of Chicagoans would have rather had an adulting class in high school rather than just like take out one class. I think I joked earlier about no gym. I mean, you got to keep gym in there. You got to keep exercising, right? Even though Kenzie and Case did online gym classes and shared heart monitors with other people to get in the pass.
Horrible. Horrible life experience.
This is one that I didn't find out till much later as an adult. Jessica checked in. One more. I didn't know you're supposed to clean the trap in the dishwasher that collects all the food at the bottom. And then the machine also comes apart for you to clean it. It's like really easy just to spin it and do it. Do you do that? Like take out the dishwasher?
We clean our dishwasher. Do you clean it?
Oh, like not just taking out that thing, the filter.
Yeah,
but
you can run certain cycles now you have to check because everyone's dishwasher a little different. But like with ours, we can use like a white vinegar and clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time I just threw a bunch of white vinegar in there.
Oh, that's good.
I just thought that then it smelled good, so I was like, okay, white vinegar cleans like almost anything.
It really does. It's like the natural cleaning product.
It's like a miracle drug.
That's how we clean our water machine too.
Same. The humidifiers too, like that kind of thing.
Everything.
Yeah.
White vinegar.
I don't think it's ever.
Stuff,
is it ever used for cooking? Like, was white vinegar like for something to eat?
Yeah, I think a little vinegar, a little splash of vinegar.
I want to know, Case, have you ever changed your dishwasher thing, the trap in the bottom?
No,
You don't know what we're talking about, do you?
well, I know what a dishwasher is.
Okay, that's good.
Your mom.
No, I have a dishwasher. But I can't picture where that would be.
Where do you think it is?
I don't know.
So on the bottom of the dishwasher where those, the things look like propeller blades, the fan.
Yeah.
Some of them it's like right under that on the side, and it's a little screen. You open that up, and you're gonna find a crap load of food in there.
Well, I've lived in my apartment for 2 years. I don't want to clean that.
You
This
have
is
to.
why I don't like to eat at other people's houses. I mean, think
No,
about Case's plates. They're just getting leftover pizza water,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to eat off of it.
Yep.
It's disgusting. No offense, Case.
I want you to go.
No, none taken.
I want you to go home today, Case, and open it up, take a picture of it, and post it so people can see what kind of food was in your dishwasher trap.
I still don't understand where it is, and I'm not like being dumb on purpose. I don't understand where it's at.
Well, go to YouTube. You'll find it and figure it out.
All right, I'll do a
Yes.
YouTube University today.
Go do that. We'll get to headlines pretty soon here after Shinedown, where you decide the content of what story we should chop up. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for Head to Headlines, where you decide the content of what we do next based on the headlines alone. So we read you two headlines, and you text in 312-591-8300, headline number 1 or headline number 2, on what story you're really more intrigued about, one we want to hear us chop up and go into. The other story we'll never talk about again. So please, think about your choice. Here is headline number 1. Willow Springs man staged farm accident, paid someone to cut off his feet, authorities say.
It's a bad investment.
I mean, it does give you a lot of questions to your brain on why. What's the why there?
Well, I wonder if he is able to balance because he doesn't have any toes now. We talked about that yesterday around this time.
Yeah, with John Wayne Bobbitt losing all his toes from that Camp Lejeune, that there's contaminated water. Okay.
Sounds like a Goosebumps book.
Camp
Yes, it
Lejeune.
does. Where's R.L. Stein at when you need him?
Amen.
All right, so that's headline number 1. If you want to hear more about that story, text that in, but not before hearing headline number 2, which is woman registered as, quote, totally paralyzed, walked to interview to receive benefits. Oh, what a country. 312-591-8300. Text in headline number 2 if you want to hear that. And after Cold War Kids, we'll chop up whichever one you want us to. 312-591-8300. Headline 1 or headline 2?
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
All right, so the headlines. We finally got a good total here of the headlines that you want us to read or the story you want us to kind of go deeper into, you're more intrigued about. So headline number 1 was, Willow Springs man staged farm accident, paid someone to cut off his feet, authorities say. And headline number 2 was, woman registered as, quote, totally paralyzed, walked to interview to receive benefits.
It's a miracle.
It really is. And I'd love to hear more about that story, but you guys didn't choose it, so we're never talking about that story again. We're going with Willow Springs man staged farm accident, paid someone to cut off his feet, authorities say.
Fraud today, you know?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that.
Fraudy.
And by the way, this is Willow Springs in Missouri. It's an area called West Plains. So in Torrey Thompson's 20 years of law enforcement, the Howell County Sheriff's Office lieutenant has examined his share of bizarre incidents. When a man tried to cash in on an insurance policy by staging a bloody farm equipment accident, it became the strangest of his career. That's a great lead-in.
Yeah.
I like that story. I like how he's going with
They
it.
really know how to weave a tale, don't they?
Yeah.
I thought
giving-
journalism was dead.
It's giving Kenzie's crimes energy. I'm like, whoa.
It's a very good intro. Would-be fraud and gruesome scenes are part of the parcel of Thomas's jobs. But the combination of those is odd. And these details in this story made it odder. In November, they sent out a relatively vague press release to local media about a situation involving a man in Willow Springs who had lost his feet in an apparent, quote, staged incident with a brush hog, a rotary mower often attached to a tractor. Okay, so I guess I'm not 100% sure yet. I haven't read the story all the way through because we go with you guys on this one.
He's looking for like a payoff because like from the company, like your machine's dangerous?
I'm guessing. It's from that mower.
How much are your feet worth? I mean, especially as a farmer.
They're probably worth less than yours, Kenzie.
You know,
I don't think so. I think, right off the top of my head, $2 million for my feet.
You think you get $2 million for your feet?
No,
Yes.
You would get rid of your feet for $2 million.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying if it happened to me with a brush hog, I'd want $2 million.
This is optional. Yeah. And he's like, I don't even want them.
If you just happen to be around a brush hog, which I know you won't be, but if you were and you lost your feet, you think you get $2 million?
I could be around a rotary mower often attached to a tractor. That could happen to me. I got side hustles going on.
Oh, jeez.
Your farming side hustle?
Your brother had to come over to hang up your TV.
That's
There's
right.
not a chance.
Well, I can't do that, but I can mow lawns.
Okay.
I haven't mowed a lawn in a while. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So lost was a literal term, as the severed feet could not be found by responding medics and law enforcement officers. So it was a staged incident. Apparently, we went through with it. He cut his feet off, and they couldn't find the feet.
That sucks, because that's
They
lost money.
couldn't find them.
Yeah. By the time they got there was no feet around. Okay. Now, I'm not sure. That's what it says so far in the story. There might be some kind of weird twist here, but the case was closed. Thompson shared the details with the News Leader on Wednesday, which is this newspaper, the Springfield News Leader, about the event that piqued much of the area's curiosity in Missouri. It was a poorly executed plan, Thompson said. I've never seen anything quite like it. When the call came into emergency responders, it was described as involving a man whose feet were severed while brush hogging. But Thompson...
That sounds like something else.
I didn't know that was a verb.
So you got to be careful out there.
Don't talk to me like that.
Brian, when's the last time you brush hogged?
I don't want it. See, that's what I mean. Come on. Keep that to yourself.
But Thompson said it was apparent the incident was staged. Okay, so maybe he still has his feet. The feet were freshly severed. That much was true, according to Thompson, who said the man was in his 60s and a known paraplegic in his lower extremities. Okay, so he was already kind of paralyzed, it sounds like the other woman in the other story.
Oh, so his point was, I can't feel down below here. I might as well try to get some insurance money.
Not bad.
Wow.
Not bad. Authorities were immediately curious about the tourniquet on his legs and who put them there in the immediate aftermath of the alleged incident. The man, who they're not naming...
The brush hogger.
There's a man from Florida that made a trip up to help him in this small Ozarks town. Oh, this is like where Ozark is filmed, kind of in that area.
It's starting to add up.
Yeah. He made the trip to cut off the man's legs with a hatchet. So that's what the guy did.
Put up like a Craigslist post? What do you mean a guy from Florida flew up?
Let's see if they say how they know each other. Right now, it doesn't say they know each other. It was for insurance fraud. The wounds were not very convincing. With the cuts
no feet's pretty convincing.
Apparently, though, that's the thing. They couldn't find the feet, and I guess he'd covered it up somehow, but his feet were still there. The cuts were too much clean and could not have been done by a brush hog. I still can't figure out if he has his feet yet or not. It sounds like maybe they were cut off, but with a hatchet, so that's how they said it's not good because it's not a brush hog cut.
Yeah, because
how could you mess this up? How could you not study and think this through before chopping off your foot?
Okay, so he says if it was done by a brush hog, it would have been bloody, gory mess.
Somebody says it's supposed to be bush hog, not brush.
It is brush hog. I know what it is. It's a brush hog.
What's a bush hog?
I think that's a question for Brian, not me.
Oh, Kelly said it's bush hog.
Well, you're wrong. Sorry, Kelly. Maybe it's something else.
I'm just trying to inform.
No, I know. Maybe it's something else you're thinking of. This is a brush hog.
Suck it, Kelly.
No, don't suck it, Kelly. Thank you for chiming in. Maybe we were wrong about something, but it's not here in the story. That's what they're saying. They're calling it a brush hog.
Okay.
So, if it was done by a brush hog, it would have been a bloody, gory mess. He said, I've seen those types of accidents. It wasn't like that. It was a clean cut. So apparently his feet were gone now, we're seeing. Investigators determined the man was attempting to get money from an insurance claim. Since he never formally filed the false claim, they didn't press charges against him. So that means he lost his feet, and he's not in jail
For
either.
no reason.
But no insurance claim. So it wasn't, that's why earlier in the story he said it wasn't planned well.
You think?
Now the man was severely injured from the incident, and he had a lengthy stay at a local hospital. They figured, why put him in jail at this point? Now, here's the big question.
Okay.
Where did his feet end up?
Yeah, where are the feet?
A couple days after, we got a call that a relative found them in a bucket obscured by tires.
But why didn't he leave the feet sitting out as
right by the
why
mower.
Why would you hide your feet?
So he said they went and got him. And that's
did they sew them back on?
That's the end of the story. It doesn't say anything about what they did with the feet. It just says, where's the feet?
Oh, God, I got to follow up to see where the feet are.
Yeah, that's the Springfield News Leader case. And the guy who wrote the story, his name is Ryan Collingwood. Really good storyteller, though.
Incredible.
He left the feet thing to the end, which is really good tease and kept people through the story.
Well, something's afoot.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.